Okay, Peter, John
Hi,
here.
John.
It's another week of the World Cup. They have now completed the round of 32. Thoughts on that? What
Yeah,
are your thoughts?
I think it's been very interesting. I think thrown up quite a few surprises along the way and a few very interesting games. I thought the Belgium Senegal game was a very interesting game. I thought a dramatic Senegal 2 up, came back to lose 3-2. Particular highlight for me was the penalty incident at the end when the Senegalese player Cisse lay on the penalty spot, hoping that nobody would notice where it was, so they wouldn't be able to take the penalty.
Well, they've got form for that, haven't they, for playing around with penalties? I wondered if it probably certainly crossed some people's minds, mine included, were they going to walk off?
Yes, I mean, obviously FIFA have built into their rules now that if a team walks off, they're immediately disqualified for the competition. But yes, they have got form. I thought the particular interesting thing was that Lukaku was given the ball to hold while all the melee was going on. So nobody was going to interfere with Lukaku before he gave the ball to Tielemans to take the penalty. But yeah, I'm glad they didn't walk off, and I'm glad
Sure.
It was all done fair and square.
I mean, it was actually it was good of Lukaku, because I don't know if he was down to take the penalty and then he handed the ball to Tielemans, because the pressure of that waiting for the things to clear down, the melee to quieten down. Probably, if you're a penalty taker, it isn't great.
Can't be good, can it?
Can't be good. So Lukaku holding the ball probably helped.
Yes,
because that was where the focus was. Yeah, that was good one. Any other games?
Yeah, I think the Portugal-Croatia game, I think very good game, good quality football. And I thought the key thing in that was that Martinez taking Ronaldo off, and they still won, which I wonder how the balance of power now has shifted to Martinez, allowing him a bit more leeway in terms of taking Ronaldo off as the competition goes on when things aren't going well. Whereas prior to that, I think it would have been very difficult if he took Ronaldo off in the past. Now maybe it's swung a little bit more in his direction. I think he still has to start him, but maybe he can take him off a bit early if it's not working. What about yourself? Have you seen anything?
I really enjoyed the Spain-Austria game. I thought that Spain really showed they are the best team. Lamar is their superstar, should we say. He's still very young and he's obviously not 100% fit. But as a team, I thought they were excellent. Were everywhere. They covered a lot of ground. They covered each other. They were always players available. And they have grown into this competition. Each time I've seen them, they've been stronger and better.
Mm. Yeah.
It'll be interesting that they're playing Portugal next, who are also a very technical side with the ball. So that will be I think Spain will get through, because I also like the fact that they've got wingers, or they've got overlapping fullbacks, Porro and Cucurella, and then they've got Lamar, who kind of switches wings, and they've still got Nico Williams, who hasn't played at all.
Exactly.
So I think that not only can they play through the middle, they can also go down the wings, and that is definitely, for me, a tactic that probably not enough teams have used, that has made certain teams not play as well as maybe they should have done, or not done as well as they should have done.
Yeah, and bear in mind they've still got Rodri in the centre of midfield, who's obviously been a dominant force in the Premier League in the way he can control the midfield. So they're looking good all over the pitch, really.
Yeah, and they've got the subs they brought on are good. The base level of subs and team is incredible. Their squad is incredible. I think pretty good, very good.
Yeah.
The other game, I don't know. We won't talk about England. We'll come on to that as a separate subject. I liked Ivory Coast, Norway. I mean, I think that the fact that Haaland scored wasn't a great goal, and it was a scuff goal. But like all good centre forwards, he was where he should be.
Yeah.
And and Norway are a good side, solid side. They're not a great side, but they're a good solid side, as are Ivory Coast. But I think in that instance, when you've got a player who gets half a chance, somehow they make it happen, and he did.
I think he gives them a very clear identity. They've got one superstar. They've got Odegaard. They've got good players around them, but they've got one superstar who they build the team around. And that, I think, makes thinking clearer. It gives you a better strategy. It makes everybody focus on the same kind of approach, which I kind of, again, you might talk about England a bit, is how England are probably thinking about things. Harry Kane's the superstar, and we build around, and that gives England a little bit more focus. So I think, Norway look a good side, and it'll be fascinating in the next round against Brazil. See how they get on, because Brazil haven't looked fantastic. I mean, Brazil have got a good side, obviously. I mean, that midfield is, Guimarães, Paqueta, and Casemiro. you wouldn't say that was an outstanding midfield. It's very solid, obviously, but there's chances there for Norway, I think.
Yeah, I think they'll hold anybody, those midfields. I mean, I think that what was interesting, and I just want to say we did get some listeners from Brazil last episode, and also in the States, and maybe Ancelotti's listened to us, because the hydration break there, he changed it. They went down the wings and they put the crosses in and they got the goals. Up until that point, trying to play through those three just didn't work. Just didn't really work. I don't think they've got enough legs. I don't think they're creative enough. They're very strong, but for those reasons, he switched the emphasis and it opened up the game for them, I think. Hence they got a headed goal and moved on.
I mean, France are very good. They've got weapons all over the pitch, haven't they? They've got, and I think they have got in the attack. I mean, Dembele looked very, very good the other day. I mean, his hat trick was outstanding. So, and they're solid at the back as well. They know what they're doing at the back, and they've got options off the bench as well. People like Barcola, who's not necessarily a starter, can come off the bench, and he is a world class player.
And
so I think France
to mix it up.
Yeah.
Ryan Chekri as well, to mix
it up. Exactly. Very, very, very strong side indeed.
Germany, Paraguay, what did you think of that, with the Paraguayans eventually doing it on penalties? You never thought you'd see a German team lose.
Yeah, one objective to hang on grimly, which they did for the whole of the game and the additional extra time, and very good from their perspective to win the game. I sometimes find the problem with this tournament a little bit is there's been a lot of low blocks, weaker teams playing strong teams. There hasn't been a lot of games where they've gone at each other 50-50. There's been one team sitting back and one team desperate to score, which is great every now and again. But when there's been quite a few of them, England had 3 of them, it probably takes the edge off the spectacle, but still a great result for Paraguay, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they are probably the only, let's say, big team that's not gone through to the last 16. We've got Brazil, England, Argentina, Colombia, everybody, Portugal, Spain, they're all through. France, but Germany are probably the only big major power.
You could throw the Netherlands in there, maybe, who could have done something with the quality of players that they do have in their squad. But Germany, on paper, should be one of the dominant forces, and no wonder Nagelsmann has gone as a manager.
I mean, well, it seems that you lose and you're out. I mean, I do think because Koeman's gone at Holland. Obviously, the Tunisian manager went after about, 35 minutes, I think, of the first game.
Yeah.
He was gone. But it looks like it's very difficult. Success is what it is. If you don't get the success, you're out. For the big nations, it seems that way. I think we should really just talk or touch on, certainly, the England game. What were your thoughts there against Congo?
Yeah, I mean, it was... first, the goal. I mean, Pickford beaten at the near post there. Great strike from the lad, but really, Pickford, you would expect him to savour that near post. And I see Pickford, he's not having a greatest of World Cup. He doesn't look that secure. I doubt if he'll bring Trafford in, but Pickford is, he's probably one serious error away from being replaced by Trafford, because he's not looked that secure. In general, I thought they played okay, but again, Harry Kane gets them out of jail. I think his first goal was not the strongest header, and he was a bit fortunate it flipped in, but the second goal was obviously...
Second goal was a stunner, yeah. There was the first game where, if England had gone 2-0 down, there was that chance that Congo had, and they went the wrong side of the post. If that had got in, I don't know if from 2-0 down England would have come back. It would have been a challenge, even though they were by far the better team, and the goalkeeper for Congo, Patsis or something, certainly wasn't a patsy. I mean, he was brilliant. He played really, really well. He did some great saves. But, again, England couldn't find a way through at the end of the day. It was Bellingham and Kane.
I think you're right. Bellingham came with the stars again. It goes back to our earlier points about something different, some different piece, some creativity that a Palmer or Foden might give you, even a Wharton. One of the things we failed to do is pass through the lines, and Wharton would have probably given you those options. So picking the team that Tuchel has, or the squad, it's very like for like, players that he's bringing on. So there's nothing really different there. And also, we've also touched on the fullback. If Trent Alexander-Arnold was there, obviously that delivery from right fullback, opening defences up from there, gives us another weapon when teams are playing that low block.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I don't think that the centre halves of I mean, the back four haven't gelled. I know
No.
he's done a few tweaks, and Reece James is out injured, and then Livramento went home, and now Konsa, I don't know if he's going to play or not in the next game. Stones came on. It doesn't look solid enough back four to build on. And I think, I remember you making the point with the when we talked about the squad that, there could have been some other centre halves there that would have been a bit more solid. Maybe wouldn't have offered much more going forward, maybe a threat at corners and things, but they would have been a bit more solid and a bit more, you want your centre halves to be brutal. I don't think those two are brutal.
I think there seems to be a lack of leadership at the back. I don't know who the leader is. I think if Stones was on the field, maybe he'd be the leader. But between Konsa and Gay, I don't see a leader there. Both they're quieter players. They play within themselves. They're very efficient. Nico O'Reilly's a young lad, so he's not going to be there to provide that leadership. And the right side, Dejid Spence, is again somebody who's not going to be a leader there, and he hasn't got a solid position. So my hope is for the next game that Reece James is fit. The signs seem to be that he will be. He's captain at Chelsea, so he might bring that leadership and help build that solidity, because we'll definitely need it in Mexico.
Riley is, whenever he seems to come into the middle more. So he leaves that space on the left, and so whoever it is, Gordon, Rashford, doesn't really have support like an overlapping fullback. So he squeeze, which I think it comes back from playing with for Man City. They squeeze the middle, and then they relied on Chekri this year, Bruyne in the past, another player, Mahrez, to sort of do something to get through there. And because we haven't got a player like that, England haven't got a player like that, it makes it kind of tight. So you've got Riley's close to Anderson, who's close to Bellingham, he's close to Rice, and it's kind of a little bit congested. Right. Maybe would be better if he stretched it out a little bit wide, stayed out on the left.
Yeah, I think playing for Man City, he does come inside a lot. By instinct, by training, by background, he's a central midfield player, a holding midfield player. So he's not that natural overlapping wide man, which somebody like a Lewis Hall might be. And that lack of wide men on both sides has really, really hurt England, I think, in terms of their options. So we're very much reliant on Kane and Bellingham again, and then hoping that the midfield is solid. I think Anderson and Rice, so long as he doesn't play Rice at right back, which I think he tried that at the end, and it worked quite well. But I think as a starting strategy, you need Bellingham, Rice, and Anderson in your centre of your midfield, and just hope that Reece James is fit at right back, and then we're starting to look a little bit more solid. Yeah.
I mean, let's go. Round of 16, we're playing Mexico, whatever, thousands of square feet, altitude, the heat, and everything else. Mexico, I haven't seen too much. They've gone through the competition pretty quietly, winning their games. Not, nobody scored against them, and obviously they're going to be at the Azteca. It'll be a challenge. I think there'll be more in terms of, Mexico will, in front of a home crowd, will want to get at England, and that may well open up some space. I've never played at that altitude, never played in that heat, so I've no idea what it does to you. But that is, I don't know. Is it an issue? I can't remember against Maradona in '86, against Argentina and the rest of the guys in '86 or whatever it was, and at the Azteca, that it was ever mentioned, the heat or the altitude.
No, I don't think it was. I was thinking the same thing the other day myself. It seems to be a much bigger issue. I mean, it's 7,000 feet. Obviously, it's high, but even though the Mexicans are acclimatized, they've still got to play at that altitude. The interesting thing is they don't seem to have any real superstars, or certainly no international superstars in their side. Some good players. A lot of them play domestically in the Mexican league, and I think they play very well as a team, very cohesive as a team. And the way for England to cope, I think they have to keep the ball. I think they have to really. That's why James will be vital in at right back, because he'll help them keep the ball in there, and especially those opening 15-20 minutes, I think the Mexicans will come flying out.
They'll be crazy, yeah. I mean, the crowd, obviously England will be outnumbered. It'll be a home game for Mexico, and we'll see how they cope with that, but it will be an interesting game. On that side of the draw, obviously you got Colombia look good. Yeah, they're playing Switzerland.
Yeah,
they look good.
Yeah.
I think Argentina will have enough for Egypt. Although Cape Verde was an amazing story and it's one of the highlights of this World Cup, I think. But I think you made the point earlier that Argentina always looked like they were going to win that game.
Yeah. I think they didn't seem to be in danger, although Cape Verde got a wonderful second goal. Argentina always looked to be on the offensive, always looked to be likely to score. So I think you're right. I think they'll go through against Egypt. Could be a tight game. Obviously, the Egyptians have got some good players in Salah. They've got a talisman there who could pull something out of the fire.
Marmoush.
And Marmoush as well. So they've got some good players with good experience. But I see Argentina going through.
Brazil, Norway, a war of attrition.
That'll be a fascinating game. I think Brazil haven't looked that fantastic. I think Paqueta, Guimarães and Casemiro are not as good as Brazilian midfields in the past. Whether they stay with that, I don't know. And I think Norway, given their strategy, given that sort of single focus of Haaland, they could cause Brazil some issues. What about yourself? Do you see an upset?
The two Brazilian centre halves are pretty good. I think that what happened in the last game, they were almost Marquinhos and the Arsenal Gabriel were making the crosses. They were the guys putting the balls in the box, even from 20, 30, 25 yards out. So if Norway could play through that, Norway could easily play through that, and then you've got Haaland against those two. And I would put, Haaland is a centre forward. He's going to occupy those two, and if he doesn't come back, doesn't come into that sort of block into midfield, those guys are going to have to stay and mark him. And that's going to leave a lot of space in the middle. And it will be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah.
On the other side, USA, Belgium. I mean, I don't know how Belgium are still standing, to be honest. But Lukaku's not fit, De Bruyne is not fit, and they're of a certain age. But they got through, and they still have got some quality players. And they've still got some quality players. And whether they have enough for the USA, I don't know. USA, a bit like Mexico, I suppose. Home team, home crowd. Have they got enough?
I think they're very physical, the USA. And as you say, with the home support, with their athleticism, they've got chances. Again, they've got players like Robinson with Premier League experience. But again, maybe no superstars in there, but they've got a cohesiveness about them, which
is worth a lot.
Which could trouble Belgium. But Belgium, as you say, still have some players in there who can do things and do have
special moments.
Yeah, exactly.
Portugal, Spain will be a beautiful game to watch. I think if they both play that technical ability, they turn over the ball, keep the ball. It'll be interesting to see how Spain play against and equally, because the Portugal midfield is fantastic. Whatever they do and they've got a very good centre back pairing as well. So that will be a challenge for Spain, but I do think Spain will edge that.
Yes.
Canada, Morocco.
Again, the team with home support, but I don't see Canada coming through Morocco. Morocco have got some technical players. They've obviously weathered the storm in the previous round. So I see Morocco coming through there. Do you see it that way?
I think that's right. I think Morocco are a very, very solid team. Their centre forward has now gone, I believe, to Bayern Munich. He looks sharp, and Hakim is great on the right. Yeah, they're a strong team.
And carrying the flag for Africa, right?
Yes, indeed. I think they're the best African side left in the tournaments. It's a shame 9 went through out of 10, but only 2 have gone through out of those 9 into the 16. So we'll see. Then you've got Paraguay, France, and it'll be, can France undo Paraguay? That's the we're going to have 90 minutes of attack versus defence.
Well, I think there will be. I think their pace and power will be too much. And Mbappe, Dembele will be. They've got a lot about them. So the key question is 1 o'clock in the morning kickoff. Which pub are you going to?
I'm actually going to watch it with my brother-in-law at his house, if we can both stay awake. That will be that day. I'm not planning to do much the day after. I'm going to see my daughter, so it's not like I've got to be somewhere at 9 a.m. What about you? You going to be in the pub or?
Well, I'm debating. There's a pub just up the road from me. They're not advertising, they're showing it, but I wonder if they'll just organically stay open. And it'd be really interesting to see if people take the opportunity to, on a Monday morning, to stay up drinking till 5 a.m. Have a lot of people decided to take sickies already. It'll be...
Well, I think I can see, normally working from home is Monday and Friday. So I think it could be, you've got the people who are going to be letting late, and then you've got the people working from home. So I don't know. It's probably a good day to travel around London, I think. There'll be not many people about. Right, as we come to the end, I mean, the big question every week we end with, who do we think is still going to go through? Now, we've come up with the same teams every time. Has that changed for you?
It hasn't. The only thing that maybe has changed a little bit is Spain have gone up in my estimation. So they're heading for a semi-final kind of berth with France. So that could be a real fantastic ding-dong. But France still for me. What about yourself?
Same, I think. And Spain as well. I think Brazil are finding a way through and improving. If it's Brazil-England as a quarterfinal, that's going to be interesting. The semi-final whoever gets through is going to probably be Argentina, which will also be interesting. But even though I do like the Argentinian, I like the centre-half pairing, I like the midfield, and obviously with Messi, they've got a very special player. France just have everything, I think.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I can't at this stage look at that. I think the one thing I'm really happy about this World Cup is that all the guys, if I was a 12-year-old kid, you're thinking, wow, Mbappe's scoring, Messi's scoring, even Ronaldo, Haaland, Kane, in the playground.
Vinicius Junior, yeah.
Vinicius Junior, you'd be thinking, wow, what a first kind of World Cup as a 12-year-old or whatever, 10 to 14-year-old. You're thinking, the playgrounds must be fantastic, all out attack.
Exactly.
So that's a great thing about the World Cup, and I think that's what inspires, hopefully, people to play football.
Yes.
But in the right way as well. I think this is wanting to score goals, which is, we want to see superstars, and this is certainly been a World Cup for that. How many of them will still be playing in 4 years' time? I don't know.
Who knows?
But this is a great tournament for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Peter, that was a good chat, wasn't it?
It was indeed, John.
Right, okay, we'll catch up next week, and maybe we'll see the semi-finalists. Okay?
Indeed. Okay,
good.
Take
All
care.
Right. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.